One of the worst nightmares for a homeowner is having a leak. You see a leak, you don't know where it's coming from, and you don't know what to do about it. Who are you going to call? Hi, I'm Susan Clark with Carmel Realty Company. Welcome to episode 11 of Meet Our Local Businesses and Experts. I'm here today with Darrell Richards, who is a leak detection specialist. Darrell, I'm so happy to have you here today as my guest. And first of all, why don't you tell our listeners, what is a leak detection specialist?
Thank you for having me. And a leak detection specialist is basically someone who finds leaks in water mains, gas leaks, structural leaks, leaks in pools, leaks in hot tubs, generally anything that leaks that you can't find the source of the cause. Mm-hmm. And it's a specific industry because we have plumbers and we have pool guys and we have contractors and builders, but this is a niche job, and I have special equipment that helps me to find the leak.
And what kind of special equipment is that?
So I have helium detectors, special listening devices, and a lot of times I will inject air into the system to generate different sounds. Mm-hmm. And so depending on the terrain and the topography and just the status of the leak or the situation, it's very variable. It changes all the time with depth and different materials. So I have different equipment depending on the situation.
That's interesting that you use sound.
Yeah, sound is the number one way.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved in this kind of work?
Well, I was running the facilities at Stevenson School for about 6 years, the grounds and maintenance, and I'd hired a few leak detectors during that time. Mm-hmm. And when I was a contractor, I'd hired a leak detector, and I became friends with one of them and was picking his brain a little bit and decided that sounds fun and interesting. And so there was nobody doing it around here, so I got into it. Yeah.
That is interesting. It's definitely quite a niche because you have the plumbers and you have roofers and you have pool guys.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes they can't find where the leak is.
Yeah, there's different methods, and experience, and I've been doing it for 6 years now, and the more experience that I have, the more I learn. When I first started this business 6 years ago, I told my wife, it'll be, 20 leaks and I'll have it wired. And then here I am about 2,500 leaks later, and I'm still just going, wow, what is this situation? And so it definitely is challenging in that effect, and not everyone can do it,
Oh, I think a leak is the hardest thing in the world to find.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a homeowner with a number of houses. I've been in property management and also real estate sales. And I have been a witness to how frustrating it is for someone to have a leak and not be able to find it, because water does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and that's my job now. And so, it's difficult. I'd say about 2 to 3% are almost impossible to find, Mm-hmm. So that's about 2 or 3 leaks out of 100 that are just, too difficult to find. And in that situation, I have, different solutions, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll be consultating people on how to relocate a line or put in isolation valves, or, how can we break it down to where we can at least abandon this part of a line. And that seems to help people out a lot.
I see. Well, you mentioned to me that you're a diver and that has helped in your pool business.
Yeah, actually, when I first started, somebody hired me to come plug a pool. Pool guys hired me to come in and plug pools to change certain valves and certain fittings. Mm-hmm. and
while the water's still in the pool.
Yeah, while the water's in the pool. And sometimes I have to go in and I can fix, temporarily fix cracks that are in plaster and fiberglass pools. Until they can get it resurfaced or at least slow it down,
Yeah. That's a big deal to have it drain a whole pool.
Yeah, it could be damaging, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And can you tell us a story is there any one story that you really had to act like Sherlock Holmes and really try hard to find a leak?
I mean, there's been...
Or is that everyone, every job?
Every single one you come on is like Columbo, coming in there trying to figure out what's going on. But you know, and a lot of times the mystery is just not obvious, and then the owner of the house will think, or you know, they've been there 30 years, and you know, they have, I know my line runs here or my valves are over here, and then they'll be completely wrong, you know. So I can't always go on the advice of the people that think they're in the know. But I guess, I mean, lately a lot of jobs that I've had have been long, you know. So I did one up in Carmel Valley Ranch that was on a ranch in Carmel Valley that was, you know, like the line was about 2 miles.
Oh, wow.
And so,
oh, my God. That's a long way to look.
Fortunately for me, halfway through, I found a section that was, because he had a few isolation valves, and I'm able to discern which one it is by listening and turning them on and off. And so I was able to put it down to about a quarter mile, and then we just honed in on it from there.
Do you do roof leaks also if you have a leak coming into your ceiling?
Yeah, I do structural leaks, you know, and all kinds of under living space leaks, you know, decks that are built above. There's a lot of those in Pebble Beach where the deck's leaking and they have livable space underneath.
I know that story.
Yeah. And so
personal experience.
And there's a different method to doing that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love your logo. That is an octopus, one of my favorite animals.
Yeah, my wife drew that. And then we just put the little spyglass on there, you know.
No, it's perfect.
The magnifying glass.
You have it on your shirt here.
Yeah.
Octopus with the little magnifying glass.
On my hat right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And on my van.
Well, how do people usually find you if they have a leak?
Well, in the beginning, it was, you know, I mean, I started 6 years ago, and in the beginning, I would get, you know, probably half my business from the internet, probably.
Really?
You know, so from my website. But it's just a landing page. So
someone is just Googling.
Yeah, find a leak.
Leaked,
you know?
find a leak.
Yeah. But as time went on, it's like most of it's referrals. And so typically what happens is someone will get a leak, they'll call the plumber, and the plumber will refer me, or the property manager, and the property manager will refer me.
So basically you're just finding the leak, and if it is a plumbing situation, then a plumber needs to get involved. Is that correct?
Yeah, usually I have the plumbers fix it, but a lot of times I can put a clamp on there or something until the plumber can come fix it. You know.
Great.
And I'll dig them up for the plumber, and the plumbers like that. They like me getting in. They don't like to dig, you know. So.
No, they.
And I do. I like to dig.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's the Irish in me, I guess, you know.
So if one of the listeners has a leak that they need taken care of, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, they could always call me at 831-601-2614.
Okay,
or,
great.
Go to my website, you know, or call a plumber, and they'll get to me, I'm sure.
And is there anything else you'd like to tell our listeners about what you do?
I mean, just call me if you need me. The thing about my business is that it is word of mouth, and it's one of those things where you don't need a leak detector until you can't find your leak, and you don't realize, you know, that there's even that job out there.
Well, right. That's what I was thinking, that if you need a plumber, you know to call a plumber. But I really wasn't aware before I met you that there was such a thing as a leak detection specialist.
Yeah.
So it's not something that someone would just naturally think, oh, I have to call Darrell, I have a leak.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And so the more people that know about me, the better.
Well, that's a good reason for you to be here.
Yeah, it is. Just spread the word. Yeah.
Darrell, I so appreciate you being my guest today. And I hope all of our listeners keep you in mind. If they have that leak, they'll know who to call.
Yeah, call me. I'll be there.
We will be putting all of your information at the end of the interview, so they'll know how to call you and how to get a hold of you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
all.
it.
Absolutely. Thank you all for listening today. This is Susan Clark with Carmel Realty Company. And if you have any real estate needs, please call me. I'd love to chat with you and talk about what your needs and goals and desires are. Bye for now.